It's now time for the Coaches Show on News Talk 1250 KBRF and KBRFradio.com, presented by the Viking Cafe and brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company, Lake Region Healthcare, Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, and by Running Stitches. Now for the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe, here's Craig Olson.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program as we bring you our Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe. Every Saturday in the fall and winter sports season, we talk with coaches about their teams and the week that led up to today and the week that is coming up, and it's tournament time. So a lot of playoff action coming up. And we normally start with cross country, but we don't have one of the coaches here for the time being. So what I'll do is just update you on a couple of things here. And the Otter Cross Country team did compete in the Central Lakes Conference Championship this past Tuesday. They were over at the Detroit Country Club, and the Otter boys were fourth. The Otter girls were fifth in the team competition. But the headline for the day for the Otters was Cassie Wellman and Carson Lill, who finished 1-2 in the conference individual competitions. So congratulations to both of them. Outstanding performances there. And, of course, the season continues for the cross-country teams. This week they will be competing their section meet, and that will be on Thursday in Cold Spring, hosted by Rocori High School. Now, the Otter boys were led in that conference meet by Micah Mosier, who was 9th overall. Samuel Rasmussen was 13th, and Brody Nelson finished in 19th place. So the Otters had 3 top 20 finishers in that boys competition at Detroit Lakes. Now, also this week, the Otter girls swim and dive team was involved in the True Team competition. They won the section True Team meet a little over a week ago. Actually, it was a week ago today. And then they competed in the state True Team meet on Thursday, as that was held at the U of M Aquatic Center. And they had a couple of great performances from Estee Versteeg, who set personal bests in the 200 free and the 100 free. She was 4th place in the 200 free and second in the 100 free. So she did a great job for the Otters to lead the way there. We're going to talk with Rachel Cox, the head coach of the Otter girls swim and dive team, on Monday morning on Talkin' Sports at 8:25 or 7:25 rather on News Talk 1250 KBRF. So be sure and join us for that. Rachel was unable to be here today, but we will go into detail about that True Team success with Rachel on Monday morning at 7:25 on our Talkin' Sports program. This is also the tournament week, and high school volleyball and football playoffs begin. We get seeding information today for the high school volleyball tournaments. We did get the Section 8 3A seeds from yesterday, and the Otters got the number 5 seed, and they will play at Rocori, the number 4 seed, on Thursday night in their first game of the playoffs. So we'll be covering the Otter girls, and that will be on 977 FM, and Mark Johnson will cover the action. We'll also have coverage of the Hillcrest volleyball team, perhaps some Underwood and Battle Lake and Ashby volleyball. That all depends on seedings, which come out today for Section 6A. So we'll be providing some information, programming information on that. I'll have information up on my website at craigolsonsports.com. And we'll be doing some radio coverage Monday and Wednesday and all through next week on volleyball. We'll also have some playoff football starting on Tuesday night, although for Fergus Falls and Hillcrest, they both got number 1 seeds. And in their sections, they get a first-round bye as the number 1 seed. So the Otters don't play until a week from today, and they'll play at 1 o'clock next Saturday at the Otter Stadium Field, and their opponent will be determined Tuesday night. It will be either St. Cloud Tech or Detroit Lakes that will be coming in next Saturday at 1 o'clock for that game with the Otters. For Hillcrest, they are the number 1 seed in Section 4 of 9-man, and they will play next Saturday at 2 o'clock, and their opponent will be determined on Tuesday night when Rothsay hosts Underwood, and the winner of that one will play the Comets next Saturday at 2 o'clock at Hillcrest in the semifinal round of the Section 4 9-man playoffs. Now, we will be bringing you coverage of West Central area at Ashby, Brandon, Evansville on Tuesday night. And then Otter Tail Central also plays on Tuesday night in Battle Lake, and we'll have that game for you as well. So a couple of football playoff games coming up on Tuesday. Today we have Spartan football. Spartans are home at the M-State Field today, and Jason Retzloff will be there. That will be on 977 FM for Spartan football today. So, and we also have Bison football today, and that will be on News Talk 1250, KBRF. Bison play at noon, I believe, right? Noon kickoff today at Indiana State for that game. And then tomorrow, the Vikings finally play at noon on a Sunday. They've been playing all kinds of weird times and days. But noon tomorrow against the Philadelphia Eagles. In case you didn't hear, Carson Wentz was named the starting quarterback for that game tomorrow at U.S. Bank Stadium. So noon kickoff, 11 o'clock pregame show for the Vikings and the Eagles tomorrow. And I think I've kind of hit everything on the broadcast schedule here for the next week. But it'll be a changing schedule as tournaments progress and teams are eliminated and as teams advance, and we will keep you posted on the games that we'll be covering on our Layton media stations. Well, we'll take a time out. We'll come back and talk Otter football to get things really rolling on this Saturday morning as Chris Grabowska is here to talk about an Otter win and preview the playoffs. We'll do that after this timeout as our Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe continues after this break.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks, or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are talking football, Otter football. Chris Grabowska is here. Before we get into it, though, I almost forgot to mention, you need to text keyword Viking to 321-1926. That's 321-1926, because at the end of the show, we're giving away, well, the Viking Cafe is giving away a $25 gift certificate. And that's a great prize. So if you want to be eligible for that, 321-1926. Text the keyword Viking, and we'll make that drawing toward the end of the show. Dave Bishop will tell us who the winner is.
Nice.
You're not eligible.
That's okay. I get free breakfast.
That's right. He already got his. Yeah, French toast and sausage links today.
Yeah, it was great.
We have pretty good variety here every week, you know.
I know. I appreciate that. It's not the same thing every time.
Yeah. So thank you, Viking Cafe, for treating us. Well, Chris is, of course, head coach of the Otter football team. Number 1 seed. You got that number 1. That's always a goal, isn't it? Start of the year.
I think so. You know, it's always nice to have that bye, and you don't have to play till Saturday, and it just gives us a chance to kind of just heal up some nicks and bruises, and just work on some things that need to be fixed and fine-tuned and all that stuff. So it's just nice to have those few extra days.
Well, let's talk about where you're at right now physically, because you're 8 games in, and you're going to have nicks and bruises and hopefully nothing worse than that. But what is the health of the Otters right now?
Yeah, right now we got everybody on board. Everybody's okay to go, and it's always nice to have that this time of the year. And, we got a few early season injuries that, those guys worked their way back in to full health, and going into the playoffs is always a nice feeling to have.
And we talked earlier this season about how as the year goes on, you develop some depth and some more confidence in some of the young guys who have now been through the rigors of practice for multiple weeks, and with the varsity, a little different speed to the game. How are you sitting there, Chris, depth-wise, confidence-wise, as a coaching staff in what you have on the bench?
Oh, I mean, I said it before. I really like the young crew that we have, and they have to practice against our varsity every day. So I always tell them, you get to practice against the number 1 seed, a top team in the state every day. That's just only going to make you better, and just that, having that mindset, you get confidence in them. You gain more and more confidence in them as the season goes on. And yeah, I like our depth going into the season, into the playoff season right now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you were pretty much a shoe-in as number 1. There's a big difference in the QRF ratings that determine the seeds there in our section. When you look at the section, Becker got the number 2 seed. Are they the primary challenger as you see it right now?
Well, I mean, yeah, Becker's they're a great program, and I think that's kind of who we're looking at right now. But we got to take 1 week at a time. We have the winner of DL and Tech, so that'll be a challenge too. So we got to just prepare 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time, and see what happens.
Yeah, it's at that point, I think, where when you're the number 1 seed, you just have to take care of business, do what you do best, not worry so much about who you're playing. But if you go out and execute your game plan, the pressure's on them.
Exactly. We just got to do what we do best and prepare for whoever we're playing that week. And I think we'll be okay as long as we do that. As long as the Fergus Falls Otters don't beat the Fergus Falls Otters, right? So we got to take care of business preparation-wise and then also execution-wise in the game.
Yeah, so that means limit your penalties and don't turn the ball over, right?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Just keep possession, move it, keep it out of the other team's hands. There's a lot of things that you can do and help yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So as you look at the playoffs also, number 1 seed means you get home field. How huge is that for the Otters? Because is there a better home field advantage in this section than the Otters?
I don't think so. I love our atmosphere, love our crowds that we always bring in on game nights, and so that's going to be huge. And we host next Saturday at 1:00, so that's going to be a huge game for us. And when we win that game, we move on to the section final, so we could host that game on Halloween night. That would be kind of fun atmosphere. So if we get to that point,
absolutely. So. Looking forward to that, and what a bonus for the fans to be able to just do their normal home thing, and fans just love to come out and cheer on the Otters. And, I haven't checked the long-term forecast, but what a fall weather-wise, and this has been outstanding.
I know you can't complain about the weather. We haven't had Wednesday night was kind of misty, but it wasn't really raining, so I couldn't quite figure out that weather. But yeah, it's been dry games all the way through. Not really been cold yet. Can't complain one bit.
All right, let's break it down a little bit here. Starting with the offense, you scored 54 points the other night, beat Tech on their field, 54-14. Ran the ball really well. I know Mark Johnson had Caleb Froning rushing for 186 yards on 11 carries. And my quick Minnesota math says that's like 17 yards a carry. Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty good.
It is.
So now Caleb didn't do it all himself, obviously. He's got some holes to run through thanks to that offensive line. So talk about your running game and the way it has progressed and how you see Caleb and the other backs fitting in the playoffs as far as the plan of attack.
Well, we just went into Wednesday night just kind of we tried to install some more like formations and a few more plays that just give other teams a different look and something else to prepare for, and that's kind of was our focus going into the game Wednesday night. And Caleb and the offensive line did a great job executing the run game. Caleb's always been a hard runner. We knew that going into the season, and we knew that we were going to have a great future back in him. And it's also nice to see that we got a couple more guys that we can rely on too, and Fred and Avius. So they're very capable as well as running the ball. So, you know, we can attack in the run game when we want to, and I think that's got to be the mindset going into the playoffs. You know, this time of the year, teams that seem to run the ball well and play defense, those are the teams that win and move on. So that's definitely going to be our focus moving forward, and we'll pass the ball still when we have to, but definitely nice to have that run game going.
Yards after contact, we hear that in football, and Caleb's pretty good at that, isn't he?
He is. He gets those extra yards, and the offensive line does a great job of opening up holes for him. And once he gets through those holes, he's got great vision and the ability to get those yards after contact as well. Boy,
and that can be frustrating on the defense when you think you've got a guy wrapped up, and all of a sudden he's got 5 more yards.
I know. I mean, I can't recall how many negative plays he has, but it's not many. It is frustrating for a defense when those backs get extra yards after contact and they always fall forward.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we thought we had you for 2nd and 5, but now it's like 2nd and 3 because he fell forward. So
right. Eston Bethel ran for 60 yards for you, got in the end zone a couple of times, and another tough guy to bring down when he bounces off guys and accelerates at the right time and avoids tackles, and you think you're going to get him and you grasp air instead. You know, he's a pretty good threat to run the football as well as to throw it to his receivers.
Yeah, you know, a lot of teams don't realize that Eston was a running back that moved the quarterback. So he was a great runner when he was a running back. So he knows what it takes to run the ball, and we haven't run him a lot this year. I mean, obviously you want to kind of progress your quarterback in the run game, just to keep him, you know, from getting dinged up. So, but in the playoffs now, going forward, we're not going to be afraid to run Pee Wee when we need to.
Well, and he has to make smart decisions back there on those RPOs too. And so far, he seems to be making the right decisions.
Yeah, you know, my hat's off to him. He's had an impressive year. Just really proud of him for how he's gotten in the offense and executed it well. He understands what we're doing. He understands what the defense is doing, and could not be more impressed. He's done a great job.
Are you starting to see teams really focus in on Isaiah Holmes with their pass coverage? Because obviously Pee Wee and Isaiah have developed a great rapport out there. He's the primary receiver. Are you seeing that happen?
Oh, yeah. I think definitely teams are trying to take away Isaiah and Mason. So it was kind of nice on Friday night, or excuse me, Wednesday. It still seems like a Friday game. Not used to that, but yeah, Wednesday night we got touchdowns to Micah and Parker Tilkey. Yep. So just really nice to show teams that, hey, if you want to key in on those guys, we're gonna go. We have other options too. So that was good to see.
Well, I know even at the start of the year when we were talking about the team and the season, That's one of the areas we looked at was we have some really good depth at receiver. It's not just Isaiah.
Oh yeah, we all of those guys are capable. Even the backups that to the starters at the receiver position are capable as well. So yeah, it was just nice to see Pee Wee spread the ball out and give those other guys some opportunities.
Yeah. Back to the Rhine game, and you had a touchdown from Luke Warner the other night too. That was kind of fun.
Oh yes, yeah, it was fun to get all of the backups in and kind of reward them for all their, they usually play scout team offense and they don't get to run our offense very much. So it's fun to see them get in the game and execute, and Luke scoring his first varsity touchdown. That was fun.
Yeah, always fun to. Did you give him a game ball?
No,
okay.
Those game balls are few and in between, hard to come by. So
they're like gold.
I know. Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough decision every week for the Otters. So who's going to get the game balls, right? I mean,
yeah, we do offensive players of the game. They get a sticker on their helmet.
Okay.
We do offensive players of the game, defensive players, and special teams players of the game.
Let's talk defense. You gave up 14 to Tech, beat them by 40. Overall, defensively, how are you grading out when you watch the film and take a look at it? Are you doing what you want to do on defense right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think our defense always has a great game plan going into our game each week. On Wednesday night, they scored one touchdown against our starting defense, and that was, I would say, because our special teams had a miscue and gave them good field position on a kickoff return. So we got to clean a few things up there. But if we just focus on, the field position, I think our defense does a great job every week, and I was really impressed. And they kept their ones in and against our backups on defense and scored. So what do you do about that? That's just part of the game,
right? But your goal was to get some experience for some of the backups and get them out there and on the varsity field. And
oh yeah, our backups made some great plays too. I think of Johnny Abrahams; he had a breakup or two in the pass game, and I think of Leo Ashley. He was a D lineman, kind of knifed through and made a tackle for a loss. So we had all kinds of plays with our backups in there. So it was fun. It was a fun night of football.
You talked about offensively putting a few different formations in there, giving the other defense a different look every now and then. How about defensively? Do you mix anything up now at this time of the year? Do you throw in different looks defensively?
Yeah, I think we do, in the stunt game and, kind of disguising our coverages a little bit and maybe throwing a front. We have a different front that we've been working on. So definitely we do some different things on defense to give the other team to prepare for.
And as far as we've talked about this before too, but just at this time of the year, you got 8 games under your belt. You're going into a postseason run here. Are you able to give guys a little break one way or the other, offense or defense, because you do use some guys both ways, multiple guys both ways?
Yep, exactly. So, a couple of weeks ago, we got Isaac Mock back from injury, so that's kind of helped with our rotation on the offensive and defensive line. You kind of go through those Ricori and Tech game, or Ricori and Marshall games, excuse me. We were playing our linemen both ways, and you can kind of tell at certain points in the game that kind of really hampered us a little bit. So it was nice to get Isaac back, and it's just helped with our rotation, and we don't have to play linemen both ways as much. So that's really, really helped. And we just got some guys back and healthy, and it's been nice to kind of just focus on the substitution game a little bit.
Talking with Chris Grabowska, the head coach of the Otter football team. They were 54-14 winners over St. Cloud Tech last Wednesday during MEA week. Just you're mentioning Friday night, I was at the Viking picking up breakfast, and one of the gals there said, "Did the Otters win last night?" I said, "No, they didn't play last night." "Why not?" Just because it's MEA week. Oh yeah. That's like kind of
Wednesday night game. It messes with everybody, even me.
I know. You were probably here on Thursday waiting for the coaches show.
I
right?
was like, gotta wait until Saturday.
It's always fun to talk Otter football. So let's talk special teams. That's the third part, the part that doesn't get mentioned often enough because it's so important, a vital part of every football game is special teams play. And starting with your kicking game, you've had just a great year. Josh Horgan's and then the whole kicking team has done a great job for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Josh he's very accurate. I think he's only missed like one PAT all year, and then we did miss the field goal on Friday night. We finally attempted one. He did actually
That
make
was Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday. Sorry. He did actually make the first one, but there was something going on with the play clock, so we actually snapped the ball early, and he kicked it through, and then we had to retry, and then he just kind of went a little wide. But definitely, we have confidence in him, and we practice it a lot. And in practice, he shows he has great range and accuracy as well. So he's doing a great job for us there, and as well in the kick game too. He's starting to place the ball where we tell him to in the kick game, and he can also kick deep. So that's just really nice weapon to have. And we also have, we don't punt a lot, but we do have a good snapper. In Riley Wasdorp, he does a good job with the snapping game for us. And so yeah, I mean, just special teams seems to be clicking, and we got good return guys. We got some weapons back there with Isaiah and Caleb and some of those other guys. So it's just, I think Isaiah almost scored again on Wednesday night. So it's really nice to have the return game going as well.
I was just going to say that there's that wild card out there on that punt return. Isaiah could break one at any time.
He can, yes. He's a great return man. He has good vision, and he kind of, lets his blocking set up for him, and he just understands what to do back there to give himself a chance for a big play.
And ideally, he gets a lot of punt return opportunities and very few kick return opportunities, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
yes.
You want one kick return opportunity a game.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you get another one, they scored, and you don't like that idea. As we near the playoffs, do you change anything practice-wise? Do you limit contact drills during the week leading up to a game?
Yeah, I think this time of the year it's a lot more. We have a lot more film opportunities now. Right. It's not like it was back in the day where you had to go to a game to scout a team. Mm-hmm. Now we just can. I think we have every game on every opponent now, so we can really watch film. So that's kind of a focus on this time of the year. We spend a little more time in the film room, and then when we go outside, like Monday and Tuesday, we won't know who our opponent is yet. So we'll focus really on some situational stuff, like, all right, well, what's our script if we have an overtime? What's our top goal line plays? Work on 2-point plays. Work on our 2-minute drills, things like that. So just focus a lot more on those situations. So that's just kind of nice to have those extra days so we can work on those kinds of things.
And you've seen everybody in the section already, haven't you?
Yep.
So
except Little Falls.
Except Little Falls, and you won't be seeing them, I don't think. But
yeah.
How much does that help in your preparation once you do know who you're playing, since you've already seen them once?
Yeah, it helps a lot. You kind of know who their top players are, what they try to do. We know how to line up and all those sorts of things. So it definitely helps. So I think, going against this team a second time, you just got to be ready and expect, hey, they're going to try to throw some wrinkles in too. So we just got to, expect that and limit big plays.
Right. Yeah, they've got the same opportunity you do. They've got film on you now, and they'll have a little better idea about how they should defend you and attack you. So
exactly.
Always good to talk football, Chris. Thanks for coming in.
You bet.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we'll look forward to next Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Otter Stadium, either Tech or Detroit Lakes. Do you care?
No, I think my prediction is Detroit Lakes.
Yeah.
They're going to be kind of get up for, hey, we got a rivalry with Fergus Falls. It's like a chance. Oh, we can get a chance to play them. So if we get through this game. So we'll see, though. Well,
congratulations on a great season. Number 1 seed, home playoff games, lots of things to like right now.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Chris Grabowski, head coach of the Otters, joining us. Hey, 321-1926. Text Viking for your chance at a $25 Viking gift certificate. We're going to shift gears and talk Hillcrest volleyball and Hillcrest football over the next half hour. So don't go away. That's coming up next on the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome back. We're just talking about seedings. That comes out today in Section 6A, and there's 21 teams in that section, Deb.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And then you talk to other schools, and then in their section, they got to win 2 games to make it to state, and you're just like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So it's a big bracket, and just how that'll shake out will just look a lot different this year because it's one big section instead of a north and south.
Right. And it all starts Monday with some play-in games.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Comets won't be playing Monday. Debbie Foss is the head coach of
Yeah.
the Hillcrest volleyball team. Yeah, you're not going to play Monday night.
No.
And you'll get a home match out of the deal.
Yes, we're hoping. If you win, we would play Wednesday, very likely, and then and then if you win, you'd probably play at home again on Friday. So it's great to have your home court.
Oh,
it's
huge.
like you have all your fans there, and it's just an exciting time. And so you want that.
yeah.
your team.
Comfort level is a lot different than going on the road somewhere.
Yes,
So.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Well, let's talk about this past week before we get into the tournament a little more. But you had quite a battle with Underwood, and you may be seeing them soon in the playoffs.
I know. Yes. They just kind of play a different little ball. Like, they're just scrappy. They don't put things down. I think, they're shorter, if I can say that. But they just, pick up a lot of stuff. We're missing Kenzie Miller in the middle, so that obviously makes a difference on our blocking, and she just can put the ball down. And so, we're adjusting without having her right now. So, but proud of the girls, and it's just good for us to fight back and fight to the end and go the distance.
Yeah, you had some battles with them. Every set was pretty competitive.
Yes, very. There's one volley I want to go back and count how many times it went back and forth. And I could just tell some of our athletes are like, I just can't jump again. They just kept tipping, and we're like, you got to put the ball down. And we're just like, go, 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 and stuff like that. So that's what end of the season now, grit. You got to dig in and so forth. So.
Well, it had to be encouraging, though, when Underwood won that fourth set, 25-23. You think, oh, man, they got the momentum going into that fifth set. And playing to 15 goes a lot quicker than playing to 25.
Yes, it does.
But your girls took control.
Yeah, I think, that's where sometimes they can just flip the switch and put it back on. Like, let's just get this done. And, why, and they know we should have had the game, and we should have, we let them back in. So it's just those moments. And, with everything they have, they're just learning more and more, and learning to have that grit. And 5-6 years ago, we didn't really know how to win. And so it's just been this process, and being able to come from down, come back, and then in the fifth set when you don't have the momentum. So it's good.
Well, and one thing that's kind of been, it seems like, a trademark of this team is how many times you keep that ball in play. I mean, you're digging the ball. Everybody is coming through with big plays
Yes.
to keep it alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and Thursday when we played in the tournament, we're just getting different kinds of digs. You watch different teams, and it's, everybody gets one arm out. Back in the day, it was like stick an arm out, but now it's like you dig and curl it back, and we're learning those kind of things. I think as our girls see other teams doing that, they're learning, and so that's where they have their IQ is coming so far from where we were, beginning of the season with this group.
You mentioned Kenzie being injured and hopefully coming back for you in the
Yep.
playoffs here. How has that helped your team? Losing a player sometimes, can be a blessing in disguise for somebody else getting playing time and opportunity.
Yep. So, historically in the last, whatever years, we tend to have injuries this time of year. And so you want to always you don't want to plan that someone's going to get hurt, but you're always kind of thinking, okay, we need to get girls in on different things and so forth. Well, I mean, the big factor for us is that Ella played middle for 3 years. So for her to go back to the middle was kind of home for her. And then Elin had played a lot of outside for us all summer in, preseason stuff and so forth. And she's just flexible and she's a good athlete. So she's been able to just kind of fill that hole. So that, is more about Ella's legs lasting, playing a middle hitter, middle blocker, and then also playing in the back row. So, but, she's doing a great job. I mean, Ella just is all heart, hard worker, and just leads well, and just, she's just a hardcore athlete. So
She reached a milestone too, didn't she?
she did. At the Perm tournament, she reached 1,000 digs, so it's only the second Lady Comet athlete to do that. And we didn't tell her. We just kind of kept it as a surprise. And so it was just really fun. She was like, all of a sudden everybody had signs, and she was like, what? Okay.
Yep,
So,
yep.
yeah, so that was exciting. And she just, as good as her front row is, her back row has really been our nucleus this year, just passing the ball.
Talk about your setters. You've got
Yep.
two girls that are doing the setting for you, and
Yeah.
they're pretty similar in what they're doing as far as the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yes, they are. Stella and Brooke are both doing a great job. And I would say, we want the ball here. We want to do this. But I would say, their defense has come milestones from our first game of the season. And we knew that, in a 6-2, people are going to come after the setter and stuff. And they've just, the last couple games, their dig counts, Underwood just kept coming to them. And they're just handling that with more poise and more grace and so forth. And then just, both of them serving. Stella's one of our top. She's missed very few serves this season. She usually gets a run. And so she's just been super strong from the line. And Brooke, too. It was kind of a conversation early on, like, we need your serve. It's got to be important. And so she's been doing a great job, too, with that. So.
Yeah, I was going to go to your serving game because you've had consistency there.
Yeah.
And one girl that every game, it seems, when I look at your stats, Chloe Walkup is perfect.
Yes. Chloe is just so locked in. She's so calm, and she just has this demeanor, and she just does that. But her serving is, has she missed 5 or less? Probably. But it's like like her calmness is just like a huge thing. She's not a flashy player, but always serving 100%, and she as well gets some nice runs at a good time. So it's good.
Well, it's you got to put the ball in play, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the one thing that every athlete, everybody can control that one piece.
Yep.
And so, like, some of our players, are a little bit more risk, and so their risk over reward. So like their air count's a little bit higher, but then they probably have higher aces. But even with that, I would say they've had to we've had to talk about that in recent games. If the score is tight, your legs are tired. Maybe we don't jump serve. Maybe we just are standing and serving, which can still has given them aces. So that's just, they're learning that piece of the game too. It doesn't have to always be power and flashy. So.
Well, the other thing to think of there in that situation is if your legs are tired, their legs
Yes.
are tired on the other side of the net.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you don't maybe need that power serve because they're going to have trouble with it too.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's a mental game.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And boy, a game of momentum, as we know, right?
Yes.
Talk about your attack because you've got a number of players that can. You've already highlighted a couple of them,
Yep.
but when you have Ella Knudsen and Elsa Retzloff and Elin
Yep.
Retzloff, and you've got a number of different attackers.
Yes. So outsides, Elsa, she's been doing her thing. She loves to run a play and get it to a spot. Like she's just super strategic that way. And always working on it. Elin Retzloff's been doing a good job. She's got such a long reach with her arms. I always tease her that she has a swimmer's body with, just a broad stroke or something. I don't know what you call that, but and so it's just fun to see too. And as an 8th grader, like the amount that she's always wanting to learn is great. And then Avea, a stender in the middle, like from where she's come beginning of the season to now, and running her different attack lines and knowing like, okay, we got to move you. You can't just stay in the middle and stuff. And she's just making better choices and like has her own little, things like her own aggressive style that she wants to go after. On Thursday at the tournament, they started calling her Chicken Nugget, or we call her Chick. It's her little nickname, but now they came up with the cheer, which was about Chicken Nugget, and she was like, "Oh, okay." She's just like fun and just embraces all that stuff too from her teammates. So
That's fun. All right, so Thursday you were at the Blocktoberfest tournament at Kennedy.
Yep.
And overall, you get some stiff competition there, but you like it because it's a good prep for the playoffs.
It is like I've had people question like, why do we play this tournament? We're usually tired, have injuries, whatever. But it's good for QRF. But it's good battle. It's good volleyball where it's like prepping. Like, okay, we're gonna have to play tough. In tournaments, nobody gives you anything. You have to go after it and get it. So, but super proud to, play Holly right off the bat in the morning. We battled with them really well in the morning, and we just played tightly as a team because you have to be able to do all the things. And if they're coming at you, you got to be the one to pick it up. So I just felt we did it, especially in that first set. We lost, I think it was 21-25. But for that caliber of a team, for that high tempo and high IQ of a team, like super, like I was just like so proud of our girls for having that. And we played Melrose second. We should have had that game. We had them, and they were just kind of throwing some off-speed stuff to us. And so that's the one where like, oh, should have had that. And then pool play, we went, that was pool play, and then we get into the weird brackets. And so we played DL and Park Rapids, and DL they have a couple of big club swings on the outside, and we were able to just, again, our back row, the block is there, but our back row is just, they're picking that stuff up now, and they're like, oh, I can read that better, I can pick it up better, and so it was a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
So.
Lots to like heading into this coming week.
Yes.
So give us the overall evaluation of the section.
Yes.
Have you seen most of the teams in your section?
Yeah, like there's a couple of South teams. So BBE, you have to search for their film or catch it live or whatever. They're the ones that not everybody plays, and you just don't really get to see them live because they're enough south and east of us or whatever. But they're the top dog. They just play a different schedule, so their QRF is much higher. Parker's Prairie we know well, and they've had a great season and so forth. So and then Breckenridge, it's been an ongoing rival for especially the last couple of years. So we're thinking we'll come in at 4. But you gotta take care of the games before that. So likely Underwood and maybe CGB or Heading. We're not quite sure how that'll shake out. So,
all right.
But either way, you got to win. So,
well, Ben, what a way to start if you get Underwood the first night.
Yes.
What a rivalry, and it's good to be at home, right? In that one.
Oh, totally. And we just played them last Tuesday, so it's like everything will be fresh in our minds. And they're coached well. Much respect for their coaching staff and their program. They've had great program for decades. So, we don't go in saying, oh well, we're a much higher seed, whatever. So. I think the keys for us, we got to get healthy. We've had girls that are just sick and still kind of recovering. Our body's got to be fresh. So long weekend, hopefully that's good for that. And then, getting Kenzie Miller back would be huge.
Do you change anything rotation-wise?
Yeah, we've had to change things up because, with Kenzie and moving Ella and so forth. And I've been playing some different right sides. We've had Callie Miller, Maddie Miller, not sisters, and then Paisley Peterson. And so we're just, and it depending on the team, how we're using those, and just, none of them had varsity experience on the right side out there, but like we've used them throughout the season. And so it's just, we'll work with them some more and get them the reps they need and just come in confident. That's what you want from those younger players. So that's good.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in and talking about your girls.
Thank you. Thanks
Jason
for having me.
Retzloff gets the assignment of covering the Comets here in the playoffs. And I know he's excited because he's got a couple of nieces playing. So it's always more exciting, right?
Very, yep.
But he'll be there Wednesday, depending on who you play, what time you play, all that. 7 o'clock? Probably?
Yep, should be 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock we're playing. So if people are coming, you got to come
That's
early.
right. Yeah, no JV stuff.
Yes,
It's
no
varsity
JV.
at 7.
Yeah, and lineups are done at like 6:55. I don't know.
We like that on the radio because we don't sit there and wait, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
It's like
Same
a
with
set
you.
time. Yep. Yep.
All right. That's Debbie Foss, the head coach of the Hillcrest volleyball team. Hey, you've got a little more time. You can text the word Viking, keyword Viking, to 321-1926. And you might be the winner of the $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe. So what are you waiting for? Get on your phone, 321-1926. And we're going to continue Hillcrest talk. We've got Corey Fry coming up next. Comet football, undefeated, #1 seed. Lots of excitement at Hillcrest right now.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't go away. That's coming up next here on the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome back. Corey Fry is the head coach of the 8-0 top-seeded Hillcrest football team. Congratulations, Coach. What a great regular season.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's always the goal, isn't it? Get that #1 seed, and then you get the home playoff game, and you've accomplished that. That's goal #1, right?
Yeah, goal one is always be able to play at home that first week of playoffs, which is nice.
Yep, and you've sewed that up and get a first-round bye. And I don't know how welcome that is right now. Most teams like that first-round bye. Are you kind of beat up right now or not?
No, we have like nicks and bruises just like everybody else.
Sure.
But being able to kind of be able to get a full weeks of practice and not have to prepare for two teams potentially, I think that's really good for that first week of opening playoffs.
Right. And the other thing is, you get to this point, you get to section playoffs. You've seen these teams before, which makes a big difference in your prep too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's always tough because the two teams are two rival teams, and you know you're familiar with them, and so it's matchups. You know, when it gets to playoffs to see how things work.
It'll be either Underwood or Rothsay that the Comets play. Any preference there?
No, I think both of them bring unique things to the table. You know, Underwood has some guys skill position wise that can give us a challenge, and then Rase has line guys that can just grind it out and make games difficult for you. So I think both teams, you know, presents two different challenges, but I think that game between both of them will be pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, it'll be fun on Tuesday night over in Rase, and we'll next Saturday be able to hone in a little more on who your opponent is and how you match up there.
Yep.
Let's go back to Wednesday night. Short week, of course, turnaround there, but both teams had to face that. But boy, for a short week of prep, you guys came out pretty hot in that game with Ortonville.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that we went into the game. We wanted to try to come out, play fast, and be able to just put points up and force them to have to play catch up and get into some things they didn't want to get into. And I think we were able to accomplish that right away. Our offense was able to score pretty quickly, and defensively, we got quite a few stops early on in that game that just put a lot of pressure on them. I think the big thing is towards the end of the first half and majority of the second half, a lot of our young guys saw varsity action, which was really nice.
Yeah, I asked Coach Grabowska earlier with the Otters if this point of the season he feels more confident in his depth and what he's got on the bench to call on in different situations. How would you answer that question for the Comets from your standpoint?
I think it's really beneficial, especially if you're trying to make a push towards state bound or section finals or different things. You need guys that's on the sideline to be able to come in and contribute in key situations.
And you need the coaching staff needs to have the confidence to put them in there too, you know, and it's a two-way street, really, you know. Yeah. So offensively, 57 points, outstanding. You had everything clicking again, and what a year for Ethan Swedberg. And, Ethan can't get it done without his line and without his receivers and complementary players there. And it looks like, he's moving the ball around to a lot of different guys right now. You've got a lot of options in your passing game.
Yeah, Just like some of our earlier conversations this year, I think we've been fortunate enough to have skill guys on the outside to be able to catch the ball. And I think the really big thing is being able to get yards after catch. And that's one of the big things in forcing teams to have to tackle us in space. I think Drew Fisher is a really, really good guy out in space that is really tough on defenses. And then now Sean Berge is coming into his own as a deep ball threat. And also he catches a lot of balls underneath and just turns and goes. And you're seeing a little bit like Isaac Blaskowski. He's a little banged up, but he'll be back here this week. And then Maverick Peterson consistently keeps growing. And he's one of our main deep threats. That a lot of teams, I think his speed catches them off guard.
Well, in a game like this the other night, you got a lot of guys in, as you mentioned, but a lot of guys in the end zone, too. The House brothers each got a touchdown. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think we come to expect it from Griff a little bit, just by seeing him get varsity minutes from his freshman year all the way to his senior year. But I think Maddox House, it was his first night starting, and it was a big thing for him, and he made a lot of plays defensively. And then once his number got called offensively, he did some things that we were really excited about, and so he was able to get his first touchdown of the year. Huge smile on his face coming to the sideline and everything. So it was really nice seeing that.
Catching the ball and getting in the end zone, that's great as a receiver, but can these guys block, Corey? Are you pleased with what you're seeing from the wide receivers as far as their blocking goes?
Yep. I think that's one of the key things that our receivers take pride in. They know at any given moment that they can get the ball, but each one of them wants to see the other person do well. And so they're willing blockers when they get out there on the edge and do things. So
that's important. Yep. Get that technique down and then deliver the hit.
Yeah.
Once you make a good block and spring a teammate, that kind of becomes something you kind of want to do, right?
Yeah, it's just as good as catching a 10 or 15-yard pass, and I think guys get excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So you're running a game. Yep. You had Eli Walkup run for over 150 yards for you the other night. You talked about yards after the catch with the receivers. How about yards after contact from your running backs? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, and Eli is still just it's amazing. He's far beyond his years right now. It's hard to think that he's still just a freshman, and he's learning how to lower the pads and just run through guys, and it's really helping us sustain drives. And I think also the combination of having Ethan back there with the threat of running as well keeps that extra defender out of the box to just allow Eli to be able to take on just that front side play. And so it works out really well. Yeah.
And, you know, on the flip side here, you score 57, but you give up a 0.
Yep.
I have a feeling if you give up 0, you're going to win most of the games that you're in, right?
That's true.
And you did it in an impressive way. What'd you have? 3 sacks, 4 interceptions. Defense really keyed your offense in a lot of cases.
Yeah. It was a big thing. First year football player in Sam Swinson led our team in interceptions, had two interceptions. We've seen a lot of guys. Kean Stender, who's our kicker, got his first true varsity minutes in playing linebacker, which was nice to see. That was one of the things that he's a 90% soccer player, so we only see him typically on like walkthrough days and game days just for kicking. But being that soccer season's over, we see him a lot more, and he's one of those guys that it makes you think, oh, what do we have in key situations here as far as an extra tackler too? So it helps us out.
You talked about Kean as a kicker. Where's your special teams play sit right now? Because that can be pretty important, well, especially in the playoffs.
And I think that's one of the areas that we specialize in very well. Kean can really, especially on kickoffs, he's one of those guys that can boot the ball through the end zone. And then also he can kick almost from anywhere on the field. So it helps us out. Xander Knudsen is still flipping the field as far as his punts and different things. So it's really helping us out and keeping teams pinned back deep.
When you score a touchdown, are you going to be doing more 2-point opportunities in the playoffs, or does it depend on the situation totally?
I think it depends on the situation. We always talk about it going into each week. What does that look like? And that's the beauty of 9-man a little bit versus 11-man. 11-man, you have to go by just what that singular point looks like. 9-man, a lot of things is based off of that second and third score. And so if you're able to put a 2-point conversion up, you're able to really put a lot of pressure on teams point-wise after that second or third score, just because you can make it a 2 or 3 score game out of that. So that's where like mathematics come in a little bit, but I know a lot of football coaches don't like the analytical game, but sometimes you have to use it.
Sure.
So, yep.
And some coaches love the analytical game.
That is true.
That's kind of a difference there. Well, you right now are in the midst of a fall season at Hillcrest.
Yep.
That has just got to be a ton of fun for the Hillcrest community and for the student body and your faithful fans, because the volleyball team's doing well, the football team's doing well. What's the atmosphere like around the school right now?
It is really high. It's really nice walking into the gym, seeing Coach Foss and the other coaches really get into like the volleyball team, but they're doing it respectfully and uplifting to the team, so you can see high energy. You can see that all around. I think we were able to see it a lot outside, just because soccer is just off to the side of us on the football field, and Coach Rod Jensen really working his guys, and then even our girls soccer. You've seen a lot of development in that program this year as well, and I think that's one of those programs that keep your eye out for in the coming years. And then football is one of those things where we put it together for 4 years, and so it's nice to see all of that come together. So,
well, one of the historic teams in Hillcrest history. I mean, they've had some outstanding football programs over the years. It's been a while.
Yep.
But you're back to that right now. And how good does that feel as a coaching staff to see what you have built come together here this season?
Really good. One of our mottos this year was kind of get back to the standard of what Hillcrest is. And if you walk into the gym, you'll see section title after section title after section title. You'll see state appearance. And we wanted to get back to kind of that grind of the program. I think Risbrew did a really good job in getting teams there. Charlie Brew did a really good job in getting our program there. And now it's really this offseason, it was really nice to talk to both of them and get their perspectives on just football as a whole, and just talking how we can raise young men. And seeing that really come to a forefront now with our guys this year.
A lot of excitement. Yeah. That's awesome. And Jason Retzloff has the duty of covering the Comets next Saturday, 2 o'clock. Underwood or Rossi. We'll see who it is.
Yep.
Very good, Corey. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
8-0, number 1 seed in Section 4 of 9-man. All right, 321-1926, your last chance. Text Viking, the keyword Viking, to 321-1926. Maybe you'll be the winner of the $25 gift certificate from the Viking. And also thanks to Running Stitches for these beautiful hats. AM 1250 KBRF Sports. Corey got one earlier this year. So, pretty nice. Thank you for that. And the Viking Cafe, of course, presenting the Coaches Show. We'll be back right after this.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks, or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
It didn't seem for
Yeah.
activities. I mean, those every once in a while you'd get a good crowd.
Sure. It was a weird summer weather-wise. Just, yeah. Hey, we're back. Hey, welcome back to the show. We were just chatting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What's going on, Fergus?
Yeah, right. Paul Hicks is with us, the head coach of the Otter girls soccer team. And their season's been done for a little while here. You get beat in the first round of the playoffs, 2-0 loss to St. Cloud. But that was a much better performance this time around against the Crush than the first time.
Yeah, we knew it would be tough. I mean, they're a good all-around team, and then they combined with Apollo. So, I mean, that sort of gives you twice the girls to pick from. But no, I mean, the girls went in kind of with a point to prove. And I mean, Ashlyn Wallace had a beautiful through ball run that if she could have just got her little toe to it, I mean, she's fast, and she used every ounce of speed, but, I mean, their keeper came out and snuffed it out. But, you know, we nearly pipped them, and then And then they kind of got one, and then the second one that they scored was, I mean, it was a beautiful corner kick, and then the girl just rose up to head it in, and there was nothing. No one was going to stop that ball from going in the net. And then the girls sort of buckled down again and kind of held tight, and we did a really good job at frustrating them.
Yeah, talk about your progress defensively and how they came together, especially in that game to like you said, frustrate the offense.
Yeah, we knew at the moment it's trying to find that balance of defense and offense, and we kind of haven't quite got that fully down. And so our whole hope was to try and frustrate them as much as we can going forward, and then just hope to use our speed to kind of possibly send 2 or 3 up at the same time. But it does get tough when they kind of keep coming at your keeper. And Ava Thompson played phenomenal. And then our outside defense, we kind of set up a little bit different, and they like to use their wings a lot. So we just kind of had our outsides frustrate the wings, and I mean they really did. I mean Ella Dirkman, Avery Tonneson, and Esther Covington. I mean they did their job well. They were living rent free in those Crush players' heads.
And then, of course, you try to create some offensive opportunities, but were the Crush pretty tough defensively also?
Yeah, they have a low back line, so they kind of sag a little bit. And so it makes it tough when you're trying to do what we were trying to do and get one popped just sort of through. I mean, like I say, Ashlyn's got some good speed, and so does Aubrey Nelson. But when they're so far back, it's hard to send that ball that much further. And so it's sort of they sit in that middle. They're too far back, and then their keeper gets it if you send it just a little bit too far. But it was trying to get 2 or 3 up was the other tough part. When we would send it through, it would just be 1 against kind of 4, and not sort of 4 against 4.
And that gets frustrating.
And that gets tough. Yeah, it really does.
You at the end of the year, coaches always have that difficult time where you have to say goodbye to your seniors you've worked with for a few years. So talk about your seniors for a minute and about the legacy they leave for this program.
They do. I mean, a lot of our seniors have obviously been there for a long time. I mean, Shay Katzenmeyer, she moved back to defense this year and kind of really sort of took a hold of that position and sort of made it her own. To the point where you're wondering, why didn't we do this sooner? But that's always the case. I mean, and Ava Thompson's been steadfast at goalkeeper. I mean, there's no one better. I mean, if you want the epitome of a captain, it's Ava Thompson. Olivia Juergens, I mean, I remember Olivia riding the bus when she was just little to go to away games with the girls. So she's been in and around the game ever since. I mean, obviously because of Ben. But she's instrumental too. I mean, she's kind of always there. She's, when she's off the field and on the bench, she's really good at rallying everybody. We've got a few sort of Zoe Graham and Abby Schumann that are there, and they know they're there for the love of the game and the love of being around their teammates. They know they might not get a ton of minutes, but when they do get in, they really do make the best of their opportunities. And I mean, Abby got herself a varsity goal this year that hopefully was a little mini goal of her own, but she was able to do it. And then you kind of have Sierra Ochoa. She's so quiet. You never know she's there. But she does everything you ask of her, and she'll kind of give you a 7 and 8 performance every game. And she's 100% whatever she does, whether it's in practice or not. And she was able to get herself a good few goals and assists this year when we moved her up and around. I mean, she's just one of those players that you can put wherever, and she'll do a great job. And then, like I say, we have Ashlyn Wallers, who was, I mean, she's so fast. But she's one that I think made a huge step forward with her game this year, from what it was last year to what it is this year. She really did play an important role, and she got a goal against Alexandria that we haven't had in I don't know how many years, just from her sheer tenacity. And then you do have, I mean, we had Avery Oren and LSM, who's sort of their years were cut short due to injury. Avery Oren got a bad concussion. Luckily, I mean, I say luckily, it was in the second to last game of the season. But you still don't want, I mean, you want all your seniors there for the year. But she's she's always a consistent presence and always there to kind of give her all and bring everyone along for the ride. And she just plays for the love of the game. I mean, she sort of wears her emotions on her sleeve, and it shows. And LSM had one of her best seasons. She was having one of her best seasons. And then unfortunately she got a really bad ankle injury, and she was able to come back for the final game and play some significant minutes and do a good job. But she was really missed for those string of games that she wasn't able to play. So I mean, all of them will be missed. They all played their little part in the watch that is otter soccer.
Belarus.
Oh yeah,
Also,
Belarus. Yeah,
yep.
no, she's another girl that, I mean, she played all over the field. I mean, she had to fill in for Ella when she was there, and then she moved into the middle for the last few games, and she just kind of proved that she can play. She can do more than maybe what she thinks she can do if given the opportunity and kind of forced to do it. So I mean, she surprised, I think, hopefully herself, and we knew she had it in her. It was just trying to show her that she could do what we thought she could do. And so, yeah, she was another great surprise to have on the team. And we knew she was fast, but, the ball skills were there too.
You still got it, Coach. I mean, you did a pretty good job. That's 10 seniors you had to remember off the top of your head. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just gray from age. It's gray from thinking and remembering.
Right. And, well, you spent a lot of time with these girls, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's a very fast, condensed season. So you get to know them, and it's sort of, trying not to call them by their nicknames or something.
There you go.
Like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, Renee Erickson can't do that. She can't go through an interview.
Well, she's got like 60 names to
I know it.
remember. Yeah. I mean, I've luckily got 30.
Right. Well, what's your message to your underclassmen as you move into the off season and look ahead?
I think the biggest thing is just find the joy. Find the joy in the sport. I mean, want to go out and play and get better. I mean, it shouldn't be us coaches always sort of, or your parents nagging you to go play or, touch a ball when it's in the off season. I mean, you've just got to find the joy in the sport and want to do some of those sort of skills you see on TV or things you want, if you want to get better at kicking it further. I mean, it's just going out and practicing. If you want to get little better touches, I mean, there's a futsal league here in town and there's places, but yeah, just find the happiness on the field.
Good advice. Paul, thanks so much for coming in and talking about your girls throughout the season.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
Paul Hicks, he's the head coach of the Otter Girls soccer team. And we're going to have one more interview for you today. Jamie Lill is here. What a fall it's been for those Otter tennis girls, and it's continuing at state this next week. We'll catch up on all that with Jamie, and when I come back, I'll let you know who wins that $25 Viking gift certificate too, as the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe continues.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks, or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The number we need to come down is coming down.
Oh, 5 seconds. Okay, good.
So, yeah.
And we're on? Did you say we're on? We're on. All right, so who's our winner, David?
Naomi, I don't know her last name.
Naomi, we don't know her last name. Could make it up.
That works.
Naomi Johnson. No, I don't. I shouldn't have said that. Now Naomi's going to say, what? So, Naomi, we need your last name. You texted her, I'm sure. David's on it. David Bishop. He's our engineer today. Appreciate David. He's a good man. Except he's a Packer fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he's proud of it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's bold.
Yes. That is bold. You're right. This is Jamie Will. And Jamie's an Otter fan. That's what she is, huh?
Yes,
Boy.
yes.
What a great year. Your Otter tennis team is section champions.
Yes.
First time.
Yes. It's been a great year. Obviously, you can't really complain about that. And we went into the season with really high hopes. And here we are. We're knocking some things off of that list of goals. So that's been pretty awesome.
You know, and this team, I don't know. I just from a distance and reading your reports, do they ever get nerves at all? I mean, they seem to just go out and take care of business, you know?
They do a lot of the time. And they do have their moments, right? But I was actually just talking at practice yesterday with them. When we went out to play Becker in the section final, I was like, how are we going to step on the court? And every single of the 7 courts stepped out confident and ready to play. And they really did. They just took care of business. And I'm like, this is what we've been trying to ingrain in them, that we belong here. We are good. Because they'll talk about, well, that team's so good. Well, you're so good.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
so proud of the way that they all just stepped on the court and owned, their skills and went out and did what they needed to do.
You know, what's exciting about that, too, is I think about it. When you play a team that has kind of a reputation and a successful history, there's a little intimidation there. And I think of the Otters in their days against Moorhead, whatever sport. Now with Alexandria, you kind of have that in your head. Like, oh, no, it's Moorhead, it's Alexandria. Now I think it's a flip side here. These teams are going, oh, no, it's the Otters.
Yeah. Well,
we're cool.
We're liking that on the tennis court, I'll tell you that. And honestly, part of the thing this year for us has just been getting the girls to buy in that they really are that good, because we have the most humble, amazing athletes, which is just what you want. But we want them just to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, knowing, hey, we can take care of some business here. And they've been doing very well with that.
And you didn't mess with your lineup in that championship game at all, did you, from the first time you saw Becker?
No, we actually threw out the same lineup, and so did they, because we've got 3 options for lineups as the postseason goes on. And we looked at theirs, and we didn't think they stacked up very well against us any way they went. So we went with our tried and true that day and had great results. Honestly, it was 5-2. The 2 that we lost had much closer scores on our end. Layla was so close at second singles. She ended in a tie break that didn't go our way. And we didn't get third doubles at the end, 7-5 in the third set. So definitely a tight match. And everybody else got a little bit better. So it was good to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get the team to state is awesome, because everybody gets to go down there. Now, when you go to state this week, do you mess with your lineup at all there, or how do you approach that?
Wouldn't people love to know?
Yes, we would.
Yes. We do a little bit. We've got 3 options that we had to submit before sections, and Norm Newell and I have put in many hours searching at the other teams and what they like to do. And I do think we will probably see some different things when you see us down there.
Okay.
And when in doubt, we'll go with the tried and true. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something different.
So can you switch your lineup, use any one of the 3 in every one of your matches, or once you make the decision, that's it?
Any match until we're going to introduce, I can make any changes I want to those 3. And once we introduce, then we got to go with that one. But
awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, you won't have a lot of time to prepare for round 2 after round 1, right?
No, so we are digging into 7 different schools all weekend here, seeing what lineup we think matches up best, and we'll go with that. And we've already told the girls what we think we'll do with the first couple rounds, because we could play once Tuesday, we could play twice Tuesday. We just need to be prepared for 3 different schools.
So where do you sit seeding-wise? What does it look like?
It looks good for us. The Fergus girls got the 5th seed, which is kind of what we were hoping. I thought maybe we could have gotten the 3, but And 4-5 doesn't really matter. We're going to play each other
Right.
anyway. So we end up with a 5th seed, and we get to go see Rock Ridge, which is Virginia, Minnesota. And we're not afraid of what we see there. So it's good to look at from a scouting standpoint. We think we match up very well in a lot of spots. They do have one pretty big stud at the top of their lineup, but we're not afraid of one girl. It takes a whole team to beat another team. So pretty excited with that draw. And that is not going to be easy. These teams are at state too for a reason.
Right.
It's not going to be easy, but we're not intimidated by any means by what we see.
And when does that match take place?
Of course, we got the 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So we'll go down Monday. We play 8 a.m. And if we were to win, we'd be done for the day. And if we were not to win that match, we'd play again at 4 o'clock that day.
Okay, so teams are guaranteed 2 matches regardless.
Yep.
But we want to play more than that.
We sure do.
All right. And the team tournament is just 2 days, is that right? Tuesday and Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right. Who's the favorite in the...
Well, Matamita is the top seed, but I think Fergus is kind of a favorite of mine. I don't know.
The underdog,
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yes.
I'm thinking your girls will be right there. Individually, let's see, the individual tournament then is Thursday, Friday.
Yes.
And you've got 2 doubles teams down there.
Yes.
And where did they get seeded, and how does it look for them in the first round?
Well, neither team ended up with a seed.
Okay.
Of course, Norm and I think we both should have gotten seeded.
Sure.
And whatever.
Yeah.
Coaches are going to do that. But so we go in with a draw on both sides, and Dylan and Hattie drew the 4th seed, I believe, the first round, but nothing real scary. And I can't even recall what town they're from right now. But we didn't actually hate their draw, even though they could see the 4 and the 5 seed, depending on how things went. And Ashton and Ruby drew an unseeded team the first round, which is always good, but we're also an unseeded team, so they could still be amazing. So you just never know down there with this stuff. But we have a lot of confidence in our girls because we put 2 teams together that just wipe the floor with the rest of our section. But we're also going down where people have club players who get to play all year round and everything. So we'll just have to wait and see there. But our girls are ready to be the best that they can be. So that's really what we can control.
So let's go back to the section tournament, the doubles tournament there, because wow, it turned out to be your 2 teams going against each other for the championship, and that's pretty impressive. And you kind of knew that could happen, right?
Yep. Honestly, it was our goal. I mean, we didn't really want it to have to happen, but it was our goal there. We thought were the 2 best teams in the section, and so we'd kind of been preparing them all week that you might have to play against some of your best friends, definitely your teammates, your typical doubles partner, and your sister.
Right.
So let's just throw it all in there in one match. And the girls did an amazing job. And Norm and I and Jesse kind of agreed we're just going to let things play out. We've coached them enough on the courts at home that we're going to let them handle this. And they did what they were supposed to do, and they attacked the ball, and they were aggressive, and they did their job. And then between points, they'd sometimes giggle at each other, or, do what their silly friends do. And both sets were at 4-3, so it was tight the whole way. And in the end, Ashton and Ruby just ended up getting 1 break, so they ended up winning at 6-3, 6-3. I don't know if that would happen if we played again, because sometimes Dylan and Hattie win when we play at practice. So we just knew we had 2 really, really good doubles teams, and they all handled it very well, considering that we got sisters and friends and all sorts of weird things going on and no coaching happening, which isn't normal. But they did a great job.
And the bottom line is they're both going to state.
Absolutely.
Representing the Otters.
Absolutely.
So who were the last Otters to go to state? I mean, I remember interviewing Carlene Rose and Jody Stock when they went to state in 70 or 80, 87 or 88 or 89, somewhere in there.
It's been a while, so I didn't know those ones. But when Norm coached the year before I took over in 2012, he sent Lindsay Kimball as a singles player. I know that. And then Ashton and Hattie last year. But it's been few and far between on the girls' side.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Wow. Exciting stuff for sure. Well, in addition to the 2 doubles teams going, Allie Bradenberg had a great singles match for you in that section tournament.
And didn't she come out of nowhere and just show us all what that little hot stuff is about? Allie did so well both weekends. Upset the 6 seed, upset the 3 seed to get herself to the next weekend. Won a match against another unseeded player who had snuck through to the semifinals, and found herself in the championship and just rocked it. And honestly, we kind of joked because her championship score, she lost 6-1, 6-1. And that was the best score against that player so far because that girl's state ranked too, Kai Anderson from Perham. So then the true second, ended up coming back to bite Allie that she had to play because she hadn't played the other girl who's now at state and a great player. But for Allie to come into that tournament from somebody who played 3 singles all year and get third place, way to go, kid. I mean, and to know now that she beat some number ones, she's like, because next year we've got, let's talk about a lot of seniors on our team right now.
Right.
And there's going to be some definite shifting on our team next year. And now Allie just can have some confidence knowing that she can play up there.
Yeah.
So pretty exciting stuff.
So how do you treat this week, Jamie? It's been a while since you played now, and thankfully the weather hasn't been too bad for you. You have been able to get out and practice, I'm sure.
Yep, we've been getting practices in, and so it's going to be like, 9 or 10 days between matches, which is not ideal. We did give them 1 day off. Now today we're having a practice after this. I don't know. We started to panic, like, should we practice more or less? But the girls come out and work hard all the time. We'll leave Monday and get down to practice at the facility indoors, which will be nice because this week has been a little cold and pretty windy. So we can practice a little bit in conditions that are a little more ideal and more sustainable for what we're actually going to be playing in. Thankfully, we're inside for this whole thing.
Right.
But they just keep plugging along, working hard. We've had some, guest players come in and try to beat up on the girls, and they're kind of beating up on these volunteers that come in so nicely to play for us. But I think we're ready to go. We're jacked.
Well, you're going to be staying in hotels all week, which is always interesting too,
Yeah, so like 16-ish year olds, that's
right.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and then you got to find places to eat and.
Yep, we've already talked about some Top Golf. I'm going to show these girls how that's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it'll be fun anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we've got our foodies on the team. They're already letting me know where we should eat and how often we should eat, and that there's crumble cookie in the cities because.
Oh boy.
We live and die by the crumble cookie on our team. So
well, there we go.
So dreams will come true this week, no matter what.
What a great opportunity for these girls. I mean, they've worked hard at it, not only this year. I mean, these girls have put in a lot of hours, a lot of court time, a lot of lessons, just a lot of hard work through their whole tennis lives to get to this point. Now they're going to be able to reap the benefits.
Yes, absolutely. It's the culmination of, for so many of the girls, Layla, Ruby, Ashton, Hattie, like we're talking 7th grade, and like poor Ashton was on the court with Norm when she was in 4th grade. She didn't even know what I had her doing out there, but they've been practicing for summers and years and just putting in the work, and really that's what gets us all there. And because these leaders did their job so well, we have other people wanting to do that job so well and getting to play in the right spots. Right. If you come right in as a first-year player and have to go play first singles, life's a little different than when you come in and get to play 4th singles. So. Just what role models and they're great athletes. They're great kids. They're great students. I think I told you our team GPA is 3.99. Like
that's not bad.
It's not terrible. So
wow.
Like they're just solid people all around. Couldn't be more proud of all of them.
Yeah. I think Norm needs to write a book about this season. He wrote one on the Outer Girls basketball team back in 2013
he
or whatever.
Should. And that man comes up with some great one-liners and puts these girls right in their little place, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The banter back and forth between Norm, who tells us he's 56, and the girls who pick on him all the time. There's just such a great relationship there. And honestly, I think the girls want this from Norm as much as they want it for themselves.
Right. Well, they showed that when Norm got into the District 544 Hall of Fame, and they had their own little cheering corner at the football bleachers, and they came to the ceremony and lined up in the first 3 rows, and
yep.
There's some love there, I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
And respect.
Absolutely.
So, and it goes both ways, I know for sure. But, there's a lot to write about from this team, whether it's the milestones reached by individuals or the accomplishments of the team. I mean.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, and one thing I should say, you haven't gotten my report on this yet, but now we have 7 girls who have hit their 50th. Allie getting to that championship match, got her 50th win. And when you look back, I mean, Ellie Kolbeck, you might remember that name. She was kind of a good athlete. She had 46 wins when she played tennis. Granted, she bummed out her senior year with her knee. But to think that now we got 7 girls. So that was my highest record before that. And now I've got 7 who've hit 50 because of all the hard work of all the hard girls. And,
wow.
And now we've got, a couple more approaching 100. And,
That's amazing. And a lot of optimism for the future, and a lot of young girls seeing this team do what they're doing and thinking, I want to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our rally with the Otters Day, we had 52 little people come in and want to be an otter. And so we're hoping that sticks.
I've heard success breeds success.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
It is. Jamie, thanks so much for coming in, bringing your energy every week. I know you bring it to the court every day.
Yeah.
And wish you the best down at State. We'll look forward to getting your reports. You do such a great job updating us on your girls.
Awesome. Thank you.
Have fun.
Appreciate it. You bet.
And keep Norm in line down there.
Well, we're going to try.
All right. Okay. Jamie Lowe, the head coach of the Otter Girls tennis team. Congratulations, Naomi, on winning. Naomi Larson. Thank you. Winning. Hi, Jamie. Winning that $25 Viking Cafe gift certificate. And Mark Johnson will be here next Saturday for me, so appreciate that, Mark. I don't know if he knows that yet, but he does now. Thanks for watching the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe.
Thank you for joining us for the News Talk 1250 KBRF Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe and brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company, Lake Region Healthcare, Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, and Running Stitches.